Bafunzi Rubaluza and Kuleli Bakalisa make their off-road racing debut in the Team Ford Racing Ranger on the Nissan Dealer 400. Former production vehicle champions Janil de Villiers and Francois Jordan lead from start to finish to continue Nissan's domination of the ABSA Off-Road Championship. The Castrol Toyota team picks up 2 class wins, with Piazza Musso and Hearing winning Class D, and father and son Hugo and Jaap de Brain victorious in Class E. Last year's Nissan Dealer 400 special vehicle winners, Atang Makhaneni and Mike Stangl, pull off a repeat win in the Total Jumco. The South African Off-Road Championship is proudly brought to you by ABSA. Speak to ABSA first for fast, flexible vehicle finance. We can also structure an asset finance solution to suit your business needs. It's really never been easier. Darling on the Cape West Coast again played host to the Nissan Dealer 400, the opening round of the ABSA Off-Road Championship, with the event attracting 32% more entries than in 2003. The sport is privileged to be able to utilize the terrain that falls within the Cape West Coast Biosphere Reserve, which is one of nearly 400 such areas nominated by UNESCO. Production vehicle and 24 special vehicle crews made the trek to the Western Cape, with the event organized by the Cape Peninsula Motorcycle and Car Club, promising to be fast but extremely harsh on vehicles. Last year, only 15 production vehicles and 4 special vehicles managed to make it to the finish, and crews are hoping to fare a lot better this time around. As always, there was the official technical inspection, followed by last-minute preparations for the 43-kilometer prologue to determine starting positions for Saturday's main event that would comprise 2 laps of a 172-kilometer loop. Starting positions for the prologue are based on a seeding list that takes into account a driver's performance over the past 3 seasons. Janil de Villiers and Francois Jordan, in the proudly South African Nissan hardbody, turned on the taps right from the start of the prologue. De Villiers was in spectacular form and set the fastest time at an average speed of 87 kilometers per hour. Starting first in the main event meant that the Nissan pair would have a dust-free run. Teammates Duncan Voss and new co-driver Heli Tersteger were second fastest, 10 seconds slower than the leader. Voss's previous co-driver Mike Griffith has retired from competition to concentrate on his business interests. The highly experienced Tersteger navigated for Alfie Cox last season. Reigning production vehicle champions Hannes Grobler and Richard Leek had a troubled run in the 3rd Class T Nissan. An electrical fault caused the engine to cut out, and they had to settle for 3rd place, 39 seconds behind de Villiers. This overshoot didn't help their cause either. Neil Woolridge and Ken Schalthammer were very happy with the performance of their Team Ford Racing Ranger, but just weren't quite on the pace of the Nissans. The former production vehicle champions were 90 seconds slower than the leader and had to be content with 4th. They'd have a lot of catching up to do in the main event. Despite breaking the front differential on the GBS Racing Nissan, reigning Class D champions Hein Grobler and Gerhard Prinsloo from Klerksdorp managed to out-qualify the rest of the Class D field, including 2003 Class E champions Mark Cronier and Chris Birkin in the new Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i. Former Class E champions Hugo and Jaap de Brain returned to competition after a 1-year sabbatical and showed that they had lost none of their past form by posting the 6th fastest time in the ex-Cronier Hilux. They were over 2 minutes ahead of the next Class E crew. Manfred Schroeder and Jack Peckham were still getting to grips with their new Class D Team Ford Racing Ranger, and despite being 83 seconds slower than the Class D leaders, they were happy to qualify 7th. Two motorcyclists, Alfie Cox, who requires no introduction, and 1989 200 off-road motorcycle champion Ralph Pitchford, teamed up in the Arnold Chatz Cars Nissan Hardbody and were only 5 seconds slower than Kane Farmer's Schroeder and Peckham. Stain and Occhi are also contenders in Class D and showed their potential by winning the recent Nampo 400 in the Boerthavel district in the ex-Mark Corp Isuzu. Stain previously campaigned a Hilux in Class E. New Castrol Toyota signings, Paolo Piazza Musso and Rod Hearing, blotted their copybook when they wrong-slotted and lost 2 minutes getting back onto the correct route. Piazza Musso is no stranger to off-road racing, having previously raced the Jeep in Class T, while Hearing was making his debut appearance in the ABSA Off-Road Championship. They could have done without Marcus Taylor nipping through to create a dust problem that would slow them even further and see them start over 7 minutes behind the leaders. You're on board with Team Ford Racing's development team of Bafunze, or Bapi, Rubaluza and Kolile Bakaliza in the Class E Ranger. They rallied for 2 years before moving into the off-road racing domain, and much was expected of the Pietermaritzburg-based pair. The mood in the proudly South African Nissan pit was relaxed and decidedly upbeat.
The drivers are very happy with the engines, even considering the restrictors and the reduced performance, especially the RPM, but they're all very positive and enjoy the extra torque from the engine. We've changed the characteristics slightly so it doesn't rev as high, and they actually feel quite confident the performance is not too much different from last year, which is exciting in a way. So we're fastest of the space frame cars, and that was a surprise, I'm sure, to many people. So the drivers are happy. It's a good time, good place to start for the year.
Car's going 100%, the new rules, the new restrictor, compression ratio, no problems, car's good.
Technicians in the GBS racing camp were hard at work, repairing the damage to Grobler's Nissan.
Het probleem met die diff is, maar as hy so baie spring, hy het baie hard gery vandag, ons wou graag voor wegtrek, en as jy spring dan land jy jou voet altyd nie altyd reg nie, so jy kan dan spin die wiele of jy is te stadig, dan breek die tande op die voordiff.
We had the steering column come loose after we rebuilt the car. We didn't put it in properly. I mean, we take full responsibility for that mistake. And when it came loose, I said to the navigator, you better zero the odor. So he said, what for? I said, well, you've got more control over the car than I have. And I just spun the steering wheel to show him what had happened. So we fixed that. I got a bit of a burn on the arm from the exhaust, and then we'd lost a bit of time. So we figured, okay, so we saw other competitors getting stuck, yanked them out one at a time. So yeah, we're back. Good Samaritans back in racing again.
It'll come. The oak will be broken down there and there. You just slowly catch the monkey. You know that one, eh? No, really.
For the first run, yeah, we enjoyed it quite a lot, and totally different type of handling and good torque. Sometimes got bogged down on the sand there, but we had a good time. That was what we were looking for, and that's what we got.
Atangmacher Geneni and Mike Stangl set a blistering pace in the total Jimco and were only 32 seconds slower than the time set by de Villiers in the production vehicle category. Last year's Nissan Dealer 400 and Oven Fresh Biscuits 500 special vehicle category winners have made it their mission to put an end to the newfound BAT domination. Toyota Dealer 400 winner Mark Corbett and new co-driver Gavin Kelsey, who is better known for his circuit racing exploits, were second fastest in the Century Property Development's BAT, which is powered by an Audi 4.2 V8 engine. BAT designer and constructor Brandon Harkus and Achim Bergman were 45 seconds slower in the adrenalized corporate entertainment BAT.
You're going to come back on myself. Very sharp. 200 meters.
Where am I going there, sir?
Back on my left.
Okay.
Very sharp, huh? There she comes. Turn.
Peter Maritzburg-based Clint Gibson and Mike Brown were fourth fastest in the Audi 4.2 V8 powered BAT, which features a manual gearbox as opposed to the automatic one fitted to the Corbett vehicle. Henry Kirstein and Rainier Joester were the leading Class B qualifiers in the Atlas Copco BAT that had been rebuilt after catching fire in the Nampo 400. Former special vehicle champions Richard Schilling and Ashley Thorne were in fine form in the Plastotech Raceco and easily out-qualified the rest of the Class S field, but had a determined Marcus Taylor and Carl van der Merwe chasing them down in the Class B rollerback JRE. 2003 Class S drivers champion Nick Gosler and one-off co-driver Graydon Ilderton were 8th fastest in the Kopenhagen Hotel Super Team Raceco and were followed by Ernest Corbett and Warwick Goosen in the Class B Century Property Development's BAT, with Warren Claassen and Kim Dixon rounding out the top 10 in the locally designed and built Class B Zarco Light, of which 3 were entered in the Nissan Dealer 400. Despite blowing the motor on his new oven-fresh biscuits porter, Shamir Variawa was in hand to lend moral support to rival Makakhaneni.
This engine is awesome. It's unbelievable. It's got low-down power, and you can just drive through. You don't need to drive on very low gears. Just drive through second, third the whole time, and you get everything out of it without trying. It allows the driver, myself obviously, to just concentrate on the wheel and the road and watch the rocks, the trees, and everything that comes with speed.
The Kopenhagen Hotel Super Team had a day of mixed fortunes. Andre Buerta blew the motor on the Chevrolet and Weir Smith picked up a puncture.
And then we got to the end of the prologue and we were that excited about being here and driving all the way down to Cape Town to come racing. We forgot to stop, you know, and so we ended up doing another 40 Ks. And then suddenly a lady stopped us and they locked the farm gate, which finally stopped us, you know.
It was very exciting. Up until halfway through the prologue, we were really going well. And for some reason, just a gremlin came in, the rev counter went back to 0, the car stopped going. Anyway, we stopped on the side of the road, played with the switches, got going again, and then managed to get ourselves lost. But all in all, not too bad. I think we recovered to 6th place. Tomorrow's going to be good. I think we got a few surprises for these restricted buckies.
The Atlas Copco BAT and its crew were almost wiped out in a recent fire. But what about Kirstein's strategy for the Nissan Dealer 400?
If you look at the mist this morning, we're going to sit with a lot of mist and dust with it. And the guys that keep their cool tomorrow morning will be the guys that finishing the second loop and obviously finishing the race. So I think we all have to drive with our heads tomorrow and not. I don't think speed will be that big thing in the morning.
There were problems with Bucks Carolyn's Nashua Mobile Raceco.
I've got to keep pulling it back with my club and that's release it. See like that?
Yeah, we gave him one, eh? He's come across. He's looked, he had a technical knockout. Took a bit of a blow, nice fan belts, but he's agreed that I did win the first round. So, well, is it the second round, actually? Yeah, I got knocked out the first. I've won the second. Tomorrow's the first of the big ones, so we'll see.
We were easily catching him. It was lunch. I said to my mate, should we overtake Schilling or not? He said, let's wait till the end, we'll overtake him. And then all the belts came off and he disappeared in the distance. He beat me today, but tomorrow is lunch.